Call this meeting to order. And I'll start with, if you will stand, I will lead us in the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Pray with me. Heavenly Father, God, Lord, we love you and praise you. We come to you with thanksgiving in our heart, Lord, for all of our many blessings, Lord, and the things that sometimes we take for granted. Lord, we want to focus on those things this evening and think about those times that we do overlook people and places and events and things that we know are only blessings that come from you, Lord. Tonight, I also want to thank you and give praise to you for our law enforcement community, Lord, and the service that they're providing. First responders, our ambulance drivers, our paramedics, EMTs, Lord, those folks that are out there in the heat day in and day out just to serve us as citizens of this fine county. Lord, and tonight also especially thankful for our animal control officers. Lord, we're blessed with an animal community here and a community of folks who see the benefit in our pets and the family and the joy they bring to our lives, Lord. And those folks out there who take care of them and run our animal shelter, Lord, tonight we are especially thankful for them. Lord, we ask you to continue to bless them and to watch over them and guide them. And Lord, we ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Commissioners, our first order of business tonight is regarding our animal control officers. And as you can see, we have, I think all of them are here this evening. And I think Ms. Dukes is going to lead us in a special recognition. So we'll follow your lead, and when you're ready for us to go down, we'll be happy to do so.
Thank you, Commissioner Orenstein. I would like to recognize our Animal Services Director, Ms. Linda Patelski, Sergeant Mike Brown, and Sergeant Brown's team. They have come a long way in a very short amount of time. Some of you may remember that several years ago we had tremendous complaints related to animal services and how our cases were being handled in the field, and we brought Sergeant Brown on the team, and along with Officer Sharp's past history. He is our longest standing animal services officer for many years, and his leadership, along with the excellent team that was hired under, they have turned around not only the quality of service that we provide, but also the respect for the service in the community, which is just as important. And through that, they have managed ordinance changes and a lot of things. But what they did not have was an official certification, and that's not something that's easy to get. There's not a lot of training and certifications for animal services officers available, but they researched, picked out a national training, and I'll let Sergeant Brown explain to you here in a minute what was involved in that. But it is significant, and we wanted to make sure not only that you knew, but that in a public setting we recognized their dedication, not only what they do every day, but also their willingness to go the extra mile from a certification standpoint. So Sergeant Brown, would you like to bring your team up? Mike, if you'd like to start, just explain to them a little bit about the certification.
All right. NACA is a National Association for Animal Control throughout the United States. It's recognized. It provides training to give it the basic training for animal control officers. There's ACO 1 and ACO 2, and we completed it within a year. So it's a recognized animal control certification. So if you go to any animal control, California, New Jersey, those are one of the recommendations or requirements you must have to come along their animal control. And now our team has that same certification.
All right.
Fantastic.
Congratulations.
Mike, would you like to introduce your folks?
All right, so I got Eric Sharp. He's been here the longest as usual. We have Officer Myra Dela Cruz. She has a good history too as well. She also was an animal control officer in Hawaii. Then we have Jeffrey Atkinson, came from 911, came onto our team. He's been a great access to us.
Thank you, Danny.
And then we got Officer Matt Varney, former VPD officer, and he came along and joined our team. So I have some great group of officers who take pride in their job and work very hard for this community.
Well, thank y'all for what you do.
And thank you for your leadership.
Oh, thank you. Yes. But I do want to appreciate y'all for providing the resources for us to have this training to help our jobs, to provide the education and training that's needed to do our day-to-day jobs. So I do appreciate Paige Jukes and the commissioner as well.
So if y'all like to line up, we have a small plate of appreciation. Linda, if you want to come up and get in our photograph. You guys are going to have to scoot over front and center. Get in tight. Y'all want to move over so y'all are in the middle, and then we'll get on either side of you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Hey, man. Good job, man. Proud of y'all. Good job. And Commissioners, if I could, before we move forward with the rest of the agenda while we have Sergeant Brown here, I was made aware this afternoon of a call that Sergeant Brown was on. He heard someone yelling for help. So he goes running over, and there's a lady on the phone with 911. Her husband is laying in the driveway, and he has shot himself in the leg above his knee. So while she's on the phone with 911, Sergeant Brown gets what he has in his truck out, and he goes over, renders aid, holds pressure, stays to assist EMS until they have the patient loaded and out, and most likely saved a life. So, Mike, thank you, not only for what you do in your leadership, but for always being willing to answer that call. Good job. All right.
Okay, I don't want to embarrass or put anyone on the spot, but I think we have Chief Ruff here with us tonight, representing Leadership Lounge. If you would stand, Chief, and let us give you a round of applause. Thank you for what we are blessed to have you in our community. Okay, so Commissioners, next on the agenda is the minutes for approval. And if you remember, these were from the June 16th work session, regular session, and the budget hearing meeting minutes. So I will entertain a motion to approve those unless there's any questions.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor to approve the minutes signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Okay, agenda item 6A is an appointment to the Construction Board of Adjustments and Appeals. Ms. Dukes, were you going to do that for us?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. The seat that's currently held by Mr. Randall Cruz on the Valdosta-Lowndes County Construction Board of Appeals will expire on June 30th of 2022. Mr. Cruz has expressed a desire to continue to serve.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dukes. Hearing he has a desire to be reappointed, I will submit his name for nomination. Is there any other nominations for this board?
On behalf of him, I serve on that board, and he has been really helpful.
Has he?
Mhm.
Good, that's always good to hear. Okay, so we can approve him by acclamation. Okay, all right. Well, we'll move on to 7A for consideration. The budget plan for the hotel motel proceeds for the fiscal year 2023. I believe that's Ms. Black.
Yes, sir, thank you. Under Georgia statute, the Board of Commissioners is required to adopt a budget plan for the use of hotel motel proceeds, and included with that is an approved plan by the Tourism Authority for the use of their proceeds as well. They did approve theirs at their meeting this morning, so this is ready to be adopted as part of your budget.
Commissioners, any questions regarding this?
I just have one, Stephanie, just in regards to, these are peculiar times with the gas as well as post-corona. Did they have any type of forecast, I say, for the next year or two? Because I've been doing a lot of traveling lately with my son, and I see the difference in this region. Did they have any kind of other?
We've actually done we do a forecast as part of our budget of what those hotel motel proceeds are going to be. We have budgeted those a little bit more conservatively than where they are actually coming in this year, but the distribution of those will be based solely on what actually comes in and not off of a budgeted amount. So this is just a plan based on that budgeted amount.
And basically, we're still rolling over what they had from before.
Yes, sir. And Commissioner Evans and I were actually in a Tourism Authority meeting earlier today, and that was part of the discussion because obviously the Tourism Authority is planning the conference center and tourism's budget as well. And we are down a little from May of last year. And so what they're seeing is that room rates are up, but there are less rooms being rented. And so that's not a revenue neutral situation compared to last year's numbers. So there is an expectation that that could continue to decline. They do believe that the fuel numbers, to your good point, are having an impact on that as well. So it's something that's being watched very closely across the board.
Thanks.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve and authorize the chairman to sign the attached county budget plan.
Okay, have a motion, a second?
Second.
Second from Ms. Joyce. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, 7B, the adoption of the fiscal year 2023 operating budget. Ms. Black, you glad to
yes.
have this here tonight? And
Yes, sir. Following your public hearing on June 16th, we have the budget before you tonight for your approval and adoption.
I'll ask, but I assume the commissioners at this point don't have any questions regarding the budget. Any other questions for Ms. Black? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
No opposition, so motion carries, and we have a fiscal year 2023 operating budget. Okay, 7D is to adopt a resolution accepting the water and sewer infrastructure for Kinderloo Forest.
Oh,
Oh, did I miss one?
yeah.
Oh, I did, I'm sorry, forgive me, y'all. Yesterday, we heard from Judge Golden regarding this. The Governor's Criminal Justice Coordinating Council Accountability Court and DUI Court grant. Do we have anybody here to speak on that? No?
I can answer any questions that anyone might have.
Does anyone have anything? Okay, if y'all think we're ready, I'll entertain a motion.
I entertain a motion to adopt. I sit in on this review from him, then they will present it to the board, and so I make a motion for it.
Okay, I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, now we'll go to 7D. This is regarding the water and sewer infrastructure again at Kinderloo Forest for Phase 8A. Mr. McLeod?
Yes, sir, thank you. This is for Kinderloo Forest subdivision, which is located off of Highway 84 West. This is for infrastructure, for acceptance of infrastructure for water and sewer only. All the roads will remain private, and this is for Phase 8A. All the work has been completed and all the paperwork has been turned in.
Okay, good. Any questions for Mr. McLeod? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Weisenbaker, second.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Griner. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, and then the next one is Kinderly Forest as well, but this is for Phase 9. Chad?
Yes, sir. This again is for Kinderly Forest subdivision. This is for water and sewer infrastructure acceptance for Phase 9. And all the work has been completed and the paperwork has been completed.
That's good. Any questions for Chad? Mr. McLeod? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt.
Okay, we have a motion to adopt the resolution for Kinderly Phase 9. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Hearing no opposition, motion passes. Okay, next we have agenda item 7F, the Transportation Investment Act, local project delivery application for the Clyteville Road widening.
Yes, sir. This is for an approval for a local project delivery application for Old Clyteville Road widening, which is on the TIA constrained project list. We are estimated to start professional engineering in fall of 2022. This application will start the process for this to be a local delivered project.
Okay, and you said construction wouldn't start until 2024, right?
2024. Yes, sir.
All right, any questions for Chad regarding this? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion to approve, do I have a second?
Second.
And I have a second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, it is approved. Okay, agenda item 7G is the cybersecurity maturity continuation. Mr.
Yes, sir.
Coxey.
Good evening, Commissioners. As discussed yesterday, this is the next phase of the cybersecurity maturity that we began last year. This year, the focus will be a comprehensive cybersecurity preparedness.
Okay. All right, any questions?
I just had one, and Paige maybe can answer. In regards to ABM, what type of assessment, or does this tie into any, what they've been looking at?
It doesn't. Their focus is based on efficiency, and this is based on risk. So there's two separate issues there.
Okay.
Okay, Commissioners, if there aren't any other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, do I have a second?
Second.
And a second. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, agenda item number 8 is a bid item for a new tractor for Public Works. Ms. Black?
Yes, sir, thank you. We solicited bids for a new tractor for Public Works for right-of-way mowing to be used by the Northern Mowing Crew for cleanup work on the right-of-way. We received 2 bids, Atlantic and Southern Tifton, Georgia, for a Massey Ferguson, $49,750, and Southern Tractor in Valdosta for a Kubota, $50,000.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Black. Do we have any questions on this?
What type of turnaround time did they give us for this item?
Both tractors, both bidders have in stock.
Oh, they haven't, that's good, okay.
So is there any further conversation about this? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we award the bid to Southern Tractor, $50,000 due to local vendor preference.
Okay, I have a motion to award the bid to Southern Tractor for the Kubota. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yeah, I have a second. All in favor of Southern Tractor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes, Southern Tractor. Okay. All right, next is the county manager's report.
Thank you,
Well,
Mr.
Sheila,
Vice
pretty
Chairman. I want to thank you all for your confidence and support in and during the budget process. It is a huge relief for us to be able to check that off our list and to do everything that we need to do over the next month to close out the current fiscal year and be ready with a strong budget that is adequate as well as fiscally responsible for our next year. That doesn't happen overnight. In addition to all of the time that you all have spent and put in with that, we have a tremendous team led by Ms. Stephanie Black. I feel like some days co-led by Ms. Rachel Bowen with some of the staffing shortages that we've had in finance, and then also HR. Mr. Kevin Beals is a tremendous part of that. So that great budget could not have come to you without all of their hard work. So ladies, thank you. And Kevin could not be with us tonight. I want to let you all know that the county called for and held the required meeting related to local option sales tax on Thursday. That date kicked off a 60-day window during which we would need to settle that out with the appropriate certificate to the state of Georgia. If not, then there is a process in the law that would move us into ADR, which is a form of mediation. In the conversations that we have had with the cities, we hope that that's not the case. We do not think that that will be the case. We will be working next week to prepare that certificate with the current percentages in place and forward that on to the city of Valdosta. And then the percentages that go to the smaller cities are based off of the current census numbers and their population. So we'll keep you all posted as we move through that process. On Friday, we had a staff team that visited the Thomasville Animal Shelter in preparing to move forward with Lowndes County's new animal shelter. There's some best management practices and some positive, some policies that have had a positive impact in other communities similar to Lowndes County. So we went over to take a look at those policies and how they operate their shelter. So there's some things that we're working on where that is concerned, with the ultimate goal to decrease our euthanasia rates. And some of that is dependent upon how and how many animals actually come into your shelter. So we think that there is a shared responsibility there with citizens. Certainly we want to make sure that we're meeting their needs, but there's also some folks out there that are just irresponsibly breeding animals, and then they get stuck with a litter of puppies or kittens and they don't want to take care of them, and they turn them into the shelter. And that's happening over and over again, and that's part of our numbers. So we're going to work on some public education and policy related to that. This morning, again, during the meeting that Commissioner Evans and I had with the Tourism Authority, we discussed a feasibility study for a future phase of the conference center. Some of you are aware that the current conference center is unable to attract some larger events simply because there's not a large enough room with enough breakout rooms that also has a banquet hall where people can be fed. We've all been to conferences together, so you're familiar with the facility expectation there. There was supposed to be a phase two to the conference center when it was originally designed that was never built. And so now through that feasibility study, there's conversations that are happening as far as what would the plan be? Could we support that? We're in the very beginning stages of that conversation, but I wanted you all to be aware, and we will keep you posted as we move forward. I know that you all have received, and we had some conversation at retreat over complaints in the unincorporated area related to chickens. So the conversation with the update of the ULDC was that we would find a provision for chickens with some guidelines that helped citizens be good neighbors and responsible chicken owners. So now we continue to see an uptick, and I think that we will continue to see even more as the inflation hits and people are trying to figure out a way to curb their grocery bills. And so we're going to move forward with the provision for the allowance for chickens prior to that final update to the ULDC with those setback requirements that we have discussed. So we will continue to talk through the process, but we've got several right now that are in the hopper, and we feel like that to tell people today that you can't have chickens, but in 3 months you can have chickens, that's just not good government. I think that we're creating a double standard and probably misunderstanding. And to Commissioner Weisenbaker's good point, I don't think that that's good common sense. So we are going to move forward with the chickens. Bear with us. We'll try to help people through the process, but it's part of it. And then we will be off on Monday for the 4th of July holiday, so thank you all for that. And we do have an appreciation gift for all the employees, just a small token that will be circulated through all the departments that the department heads helped put together for every single employee on the payroll. So thank you for the opportunity for that as well. That's all I have. Yes, sir.
Going back to lost, how often is that reviewed?
Every 10 years.
10 years?
Yes, sir.
just- Okay.
All right, Commissioners, any other questions for Ms. Dukes or any comments or?
I just want to tell y'all thank you for all the hard work y'all put into the budget and getting that together for us.
You're welcome.
Yep.
That's
I
all the
agree.
credit right over there.
They make it look easy.
Yes, they do.
Really. And Stephanie, I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to sit in on most of the reviews, so it's really very helpful.
And everybody seems to be happy. All the department, I've received no complaints. I don't know about you guys, but I've heard, nothing but great reviews about the process this year and how smooth and seamless it feels. And just when you think you can't get it any better or do it any better, another year comes around and we continue to hear positive things. So again, I echo what Commissioner Griner says, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate each of you in the audience tonight who came out to take part in our local government. So if there's not anything else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh, citizens.
I'm sorry. Yes. I've only done this one other time, and there was no citizens to be heard. So, okay, yes, we do have 3 citizens wishing to be heard tonight. And the first one is Mr. John Robinson. Mr. Robinson, if you'll come up and give us your name and address for the record.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm John Robinson. I reside at 3227 Sangeline Circle, Lcboc, Georgia. I'm here tonight to talk about a project that we had on board called the Tribute out in Clydesville. It's been on the docket for at least 11 and a half years, and we've been trying to get water and sewer run to the property. And we understand that if we have a viable potential developer that's looking to do the development right now, and the only holdback is that we understand that water is going to be ran there, but the sewer is what's in question. And the sewer would have a tremendous effect on it as far as price-wise and cost. It would require a lift station, which would be $350,000 plus, then plus running the line. And then we're required to pave Williams School Road, 1,500 feet of that. We hope that you could extend a hand to help to get the sewer to the properties. That's what it comes for tonight. And if that's the case, that will resolve the issues and the development can move forward. And when the project first came up years ago, it was turned down and it was tabled for 1 year instead of 6 months. And during that time, there was funds that was allocated for each unit that was going to be built was $5,000 per lot. And by our project being delayed for a year, the monies was absorbed, and then it shifted the burden of the cost that we would have to provide the water and the sewer. So that being said, it seemed to be kind of unfair to put in a system that's going to be owned and operated by the county. It's going to end up being operated by the county. And it's less attractive to the investors when they come forward to invest into the properties. So we have a potential investor right now that's looking to move forward, and they're looking to move forward immediately. They're working very diligently, working very hard. USDA is working with them, and they're trying to get everything off the ground. And we come tonight to see if you could please consider running the sewer out there to the properties so we can make some progress and progress be made. Thank you.
Where is the property?
It's Clydesville,
Clydesville.
yes. By Williams School Road and Johnson Road, between Williams School and Johnson Road.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Mr. Robinson, if you'll hang out a few minutes after the meeting, we obviously can't resolve the issue tonight, but Commissioner Weisenbaker and I will get with you after the meeting if you've got time.
I have the time.
Okay, thank you.
Very much.
Okay, our next citizen is Charles Judge. Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
If you will, state your name and address for the record, please,
My
sir.
name is Charles Robert Judge. I live at 1739B Poplar Street in Remerton, Georgia,
Okay.
31601. What I want to bring forth is something that, that needs to be addressed, and I don't want to have any backlash from it, but here's the thing. There's crime being covered up in this county, and I was assaulted by my employer. He's John Corbett, our local Georgia Assembly person's brother that owns the boardwalk. I got his transcript, I got his arrest, got a warrant for his arrest. I had to go get a criminal warrant. Unlike most people, if somebody assaults you, they put that person in jail. No, I had to go get a criminal warrant, and I managed to do that. And then Ashley Paulk shut it down when he said,
If you don't mind, can you refrain from naming people until we can talk afterwards?
okay,
I
would
I
be
mean,
glad
just,
to.
if it's
I'm
okay with
sorry.
you,
Yeah, I'm trying
I'd
to be
prefer that.
appropriate, and I didn't even want to, I don't want to be in this position, but I am. And I was hurt really bad by this guy, and it took me 2 years of recovery, and I'm still in recovery from it. He hit me so hard it busted my eardrum. Now, I didn't just stand there and take it. I think he thought I was going to fall down and whimper because he's done this to people before. 5 other that came out in this transcript I'm going to leave with you guys. And when I didn't stand there, I hit him back. He tried to get a gun, and I made sure that he did not get that gun by kicking him several times and yelled for the police until the police did get there. Our former chief of the police he read these transcripts and read the transcripts of the other people who saw what happened. He got me what I needed to get the man arrested, and then he retired. And I don't know if it had anything to do with me or not, probably didn't. But your mind goes to wondering. Like I said, I went to a lawyer, a couple of them, to talk to them, and they gave me, I thought they were friends of mine. You say you don't want me to name names, but I talked to both of them, and the two live next door to each other, and one said, well, you know, the other one's my next door neighbor. He's gonna be busy. Won't you see this other friend of mine? I know he'd do you right. This has been since 2016. I haven't seen any justice, any courtroom. This man's rich. He could, if I was lying and he was telling the truth, he could done resolve this and had me in court. But I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. He assaulted me for no reason, and he pulled a Jesse Smollett. He tried to use the N-word as something to derail the case, or, you know, chased his rabbit over here, red herring, as I call it. And there wasn't even that factor in there. He made this all up from whole cloth. And you would just have to see the transcript. I got a whole file if you would like to have it out in my car. But his transcript, once you read that, you can't do nothing but laugh and say, I can't believe we gave these guys money. The city has already cut off all ties with him, as far as I know, with giving him money for projects. And one more thing that happened Saturday night, there was a police chase that went down my street on Poplar Street. Looked like they was doing over 100 miles an hour, and it ended with a crash on Melody Lane. And I don't know how anybody survived, and Georgia State Patrol was out there investigating the measure and had it blocked off the next day. And the way it looked like somebody had been killed, probably two people at least. And it was nasty, it was ugly. And we hadn't seen nothing in it about the news or anything. And there may be reasons it's kept quiet, you know, if they're investigating. But people don't need to be coming down Poplar Street at 100 miles an hour unless it's a terrorist attack or something. They have a reason to be chasing at that speed. There was no call for that. And I'm all on the cop side. I want to see criminals get caught. I want to see them put in jail and left there. But it's unfair when you have a group of criminals who get caught and don't go to jail, and the other group of criminals who don't have so much money see these other ones get away with the same stuff they're going to jail for. That causes racial tension. And I guess my time's out. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'd love to meet with any of you after this.
Yeah, if you'll just hang around a minute. Thank you, sir. Okay, our next citizen and last citizen to be heard is George Boston Rhines. Good evening, Mr. Rhines.
Greetings.
Will
My
you-
name is George Boston Rhymes, 5004 Oak Drive, Valdosta, Georgia, 31605-1144. Following the death of Kendrick Johnson, I was placed on a 9-year bogus, unlawful criminal trespass, and I have proof. But nobody in Lowndes County will acknowledge putting me under it. No judge, and I've been through everybody. 2 sheriff deputies stated when they put me under it at different occasions that it was done by School Superintendent Wes Taylor. We have audio wherein Wes Taylor said he didn't do it. And he said, I need to check with the sheriff, and he may can put more light on the subject because he think he had something on me. Had I not had my tape recorder, they could have denied it ever even happened. But thank God that I had my tape recorder, and I have that audio. I'm not here to blame nobody because I'm a positive person. I think it happened because God had a work he wanted to do through me. I've sent 2 letters to the superintendent and the attorney for the county that I be removed in writing from this illegal, bogus, perhaps racist criminal trespass. As I said, it's been 9 years. It has been all the way up to not in the court system, because I like to resolve things peacefully. Eric Holt and Barack Obama is aware of it. And Lowndes County, with this case, have also been to the Justice Department in Atlanta, because I do my homework. And I'm here tonight. I know you all can't resolve it, but this is an official notice to you as elected officials. I sent the county attorney a letter stating that in 15 days, I may be considering legal action, and it is serious. I received on the 28th of May, I sent my letter to the Wes Taylor and the attorney. And I got a letter back on June the 9th from the attorney, and he sent me a letter with 27 words and 2 sentences. Didn't say a word about any of the things that I mentioned in my letter. I even sent him a video. I'm going to get you all email address off the web, and I will be sending you all a copy of the video, of the proof of what happened to me. And I just want to say to you tonight as I close, I want to thank you all for serving the people of the community. And I didn't come here tonight for a response from you all. I'm not here for that. But I come because I believe in doing what is right. I'm a retired military veteran. There was no reason to put me unless they thought I would report something that the news media wouldn't report about the death of KJ if those children came to me. And my slogan is that I report what others ignore. I have over 2 million views around the world, all overseas. And I'm going to pursue this because it's been a long time. People think that it's over. I don't give up. My last name is not Give Up. My last name is Rhymes. And I believe in Matthew 24:35. Heaven and earth would pass away, but my word gonna stand forever. So I stand on the truth because I didn't molest no children, didn't destroy no property. All I did was report the news. But Wes Taylor put me on a criminal trespass according to the 2 deputies. Don't y'all call me a lie. Call the deputies a lie. And the sheriff said he was gonna get back, not Sheriff Paul, the other sheriff. And he never did. Y'all have a nice evening. God is still in control. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rhines. Okay, well, if there's no other business, now I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Second.
Motion and a second. We stand adjourned.